as most of you know, I am in fact a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And really, what I want to talk about, first of all, I want to congratulate quarterback Carson Wentz. He had a child, I believe yesterday. It is Wednesday the 29th, April 29th. He had a child, I believe, last night, the 28th. Congratulations to Carson Wentz. Really go out, be a good dad, do all that fun stuff. And really, just again, congratulations to him and his wife for, hopefully having something that can lighten up their times in this post-corona terrible world we're living in currently. But the thing I want to talk about is not his child, which, again, congratulations to that. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. But I want to talk about the blasphemy that the media is saying right now. So for those of you who don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles drafted backup quarterbacks Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma in the second round, pick 53. And there's lots of outrage about this pick. I am also pretty outraged as well because that's just not something you waste on a team that you don't waste a second-round pick on a backup quarterback. And even if you run some sort of Taysom Hill gimmick plays, it's just not worth it in my opinion, unless you obviously flip him, and that's going to be difficult to do. I don't think you're going to get much trade value for Jalen Hurts. But that's besides the point currently. There's lots of blasphemy going on in the media, lots of fake news. I saw First Take and all these things. Max Kellerman was saying things like Carson Wentz should demand a trade. He should be outraged. And reports coming out from Gridiron Sports saying that, Howie Roseman, the Eagles GM, didn't want to miss on Jalen Hurts because he missed on Russell Wilson back in 2012. And all this nonsense, fake news, most of it's fake news. Really, the way I look at it, Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback. We're devoid of sports. People are going to come up with nonsense headlines. I just want people to know Carson Wentz is the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone knows that. Howie Roseman has said it. Doug Peterson has said it. Jeffrey Lurie has said it. Literally every single member of the Eagles team has said he's the franchise quarterback. All the players think he's a franchise quarterback. Think about it like this. Lots of young players, they are looking up to Carson Wentz currently. Someone like Greg Ward, wide receiver. Someone like Miles Sanders, the starting running back. These guys look up to Carson Wentz currently, right? And if you bench Carson Wentz, you're going to have a mutiny within the locker room. That's just not a smart way to build a team. So when you think about it logically, it makes no sense that, Carson Wentz isn't the starting quarterback and Jalen Hurts is here to replace him. No, he's not here to replace him. Jalen Hurts is here to be the backup. Also, Jalen Hurts is bringing some pretty valuable things here. For those of you who don't know, Jalen Hurts actually got benched in the championship game when he used to play for Alabama. Current Dolphins starting QB, or not starting QB, they drafted him this year. Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going to say Tagovailoa because that's how it's spelled. But Tua came in and he balled out, and they ended up winning the championship game behind him. Similar to a sort of Nick Foles, Carson Wentz saga, that happened with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to come in, and he's going to bring that sort of thing, that sort of side story, that chip on his shoulder. And also, Jalen Hurts is such a positive guy. The way he took the benching was amazing. He got benched for Tua, and he was the starting quarterback for years, and they benched him for the better player. Tua is the better player, but he took it like a champ. He was always the first one out to celebrate. He never really complained to the media, and eventually he did transfer, but he transferred because he wanted the chance to become an NFL quarterback, and now he got that. He was drafted in the second round. He's going to bring positive energy to the locker room. And, I don't agree with the pick of selecting Jalen Hurts so early and to be a backup quarterback. But when you think about it, Jalen Hurts is not ready. He's a really good decision maker, but he still needs to work on, that arm. He needs to be able to throw more accurately in man coverage. He needs to be able to throw more accurately downfield. And he's improving. That's the thing. He improved all throughout the year in Oklahoma. He was making throws to end the season where he wasn't making them to start the season. That's improvement. Jalen Hurts is a dog. And I think if the Eagles do flip him, he will end up starting somewhere, and he will end up being a very successful NFL quarterback. But currently, there's no way in hell that Jalen Hurts is coming in and beating Carson Wentz, a guy who almost won the MVP, a guy who, threw for 4,000 yards with no receivers over 500 yards, a guy that, is the franchise quarterback, the face of the franchise for the Philadelphia Eagles. This blasphemy from Max Kellerman and Stephen, I don't know if Stephen A said something like that, because really, I don't pay attention to those big media guys, but it showed up in my feed, and I was like, that's blasphemy. That's not something you want to. It's just ESPN trying to get clicks and nothing more. It's not correct. Gridiron as well, football. I'm disappointed in you bringing up fake news. Again, to get clicks, but it's the blasphemy around Carson Wentz. I'm going to keep saying blasphemy. We should have someone comment down below the amount of times it's said that word blasphemy throughout this entire video. But Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback, and there's no questions about it. Yes, if Carson Wentz gets hurt, Jalen Hurts might actually come in and be the backup. But again, Nate Sudfeld is there. Who knows? He might not even start over Nate Sudfeld there. He might be the third string quarterback. Jalen Hurts is here to learn. He's here to be the backup. And he's probably here to run some Taysom Hill plays and probably get himself traded eventually. But that Jalen Hurts is not coming in to replace Carson Wentz. That narrative needs to be thrown out the window. Again, I am done talking about that. There are more important things to talk about currently. So we're going to move on from that.